We're here at the National Motorcycle Museum in Solihull. I'm joined by James Hewing, Motorcycle Director, and we're at a very special event. Tell us a little bit more about this, James.
Yeah, this is one of our Try a Classic Bike days, and so we put these days on for friends of the museum.
Okay.
So you've got to be a museum friend, and it's like any museum sort of membership scheme, except ours is exciting. It's
Yeah.
not boring. So, you know, the thing is about museum membership schemes, you know, you'll get like a sort of a magazine and you'll get free entry once you've paid and 10% off in the cafe and all that. Well, you get that with our membership scheme, but we wanted to create something that was really different from what really anybody else in the world was doing.
Okay.
And that is use the inventory, let our museum friends ride the bikes.
So this is a living museum, so these are some bikes going around behind us then that are actually normally on display in the museum.
Yeah.
But guys get to ride them and try them for themselves. So we can hear and see some fantastic machines going around us, James, and we've got a real mixture then, a real different...
Yeah, we try and get things from the sort of 1920s that people, even if they're used to riding old bikes, maybe aren't used to riding things quite so old with hand change or lever throttle. And so we usually have a selection of bikes from the 1920s right up to the 1960s and sometimes 1970s.
Okay.
And in this case, I mean, our oldest bike is the 1927 Coventry Eagle Flying 6.
Lovely, yeah.
And then we've got bikes right through to the 50s and 60s, like a BSA B31, a BSA Star Twin. We've got a late 50s Ariel 650 Cyclone. So we've got all different engine capacities as well, from a BSA Bantam right up to sort of 650, 750.
And it's a single cylinder, parallel twin, V-twin and two strokes.
Yeah, and
pretty
two
much
strokes.
A taste of everything then.
Exactly, so there's almost one of everything. And in terms of the hand change bikes, we've got the Model 29 S29 BSA and the Coventry Eagle Flying 6. And of course, don't forget that like the Coventry Eagle is a very valuable bike.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of your viewers will know how expensive they are. They sort of can be brush superior prices, and so again, that's really important to us to let people ride not just Bantams like we've got here, but really important to let people ride bikes that perhaps they would never ever get to even sit on, let alone ride.
It's almost a once in a lifetime opportunity to ride machines that, you know, you can only dream of owning or even riding.
That's right, yeah. And I mean, in terms of the cost, because people always ask the cost, they think this is an expensive day. We only ask that people cover the cost of the fuel and the insurance.
Wow.
Well, we know what fuel's like at the moment, but I mean, all our friends here today, all our museum friends, it's just £20 for the whole morning.
Wow, 20 quid, and you get a whole morning's entertainment and the chance to ride bikes that you never normally would, and it's great value. And yeah, and there's going to be more. How many of these events do you have in a year then, James? Yeah,
so now we're sort of after the old, now we're out of the pandemic, post-COVID. We usually have 5 or 6. We don't start them too early. We start them at the end of March, and then by sort of the end of September, when we start to lose the weather, because it's no fun people riding bikes that they're not used to in the rain. And so we've always been fairly lucky with the weather, touch wood, but we tend to go from this sort of end of March through to the end of October. But there's a special friends page on our website, on the museum website, www.thenmm.co.uk.
Yep.
And they can find the friends page and details of what other things that the Friends scheme can give them, but also the dates of the upcoming events, which is updated sort of every 6 weeks or so.
Excellent. Well, I'm seeing all these bikes go round. I've just seen my dad pull in on the Cyclone there. I'm itching to get out on one myself, so I think I'll have a go then, James.
Yeah, enjoy.
Brilliant. Cheers.